All right, so today we're going to dive into a really fascinating case study. It's about this small and honestly pretty unusual learning community called the Yim AI Group. Now, it kind of operates under the radar, but the way they do things, it might just be a glimpse into a whole new way of learning. And let me tell you, this group's conversations, they go deep and they go deep fast. Just take this question from one of the members. Kindness, what are its costs and benefits? I mean, wow. That's not just some casual question you throw out there, right? It's this kind of profound, unanswered thought that really sets the tone for everything they do. So, if you just glance at their chat logs, you'd see this small, bilingual group having these surprisingly deep talks, in both Thai and English. It feels really informal, kind of like a philosophy book club or something. But the topics they get into every single day, they are incredibly heavy. We're talking fatigue and resilience, faith and purpose, kindness and suffering, and even loss and mortality. I mean, this is definitely not small talk. This is their daily routine. And all of this leads to the big question we're going to tackle here. What is this community actually built to do? Because you gotta believe, underneath that philosophical surface, there's something very deliberate, something very technical going on. So, to figure out its purpose, we've got to look at the people involved. This isn't just a random get-together, it's a deliberate architecture, and it has 4 key players, each with a very specific role to play. Okay, first up, let's talk leadership. You've got Joseph, who is the operator. He's the one setting the direction, managing resources, kind of getting the ball rolling. And then there's Sakin, the technical trainer. He's the one designing and delivering the actual AI training curriculum. So basically, you've got the vision and the execution right there. Then we have the participants. Jeruan, who goes by Yim, is the learner. She's the whole focus of this project, really. She's the one running that daily reflective ritual, posting those deep questions we saw earlier. And then there's Simi Reed, the contributor. She provides this super important external cross-cultural perspective by really engaging with Yim's prompts. So there you have it. That's the whole structure. Joseph operates, Sakin trains, Yim learns, and Simi contributes. It's a complete closed loop. A really carefully designed system that's built entirely around one person's development. Every single piece has a purpose. Okay, so what is all this for? All this deep conversation, this careful structure? What's the point? Well, it's all to feed a very specific AI pipeline. This is the technical spine of the whole community. And the process itself is super concrete. Here's how it works. Step 1, Yim exports the group's conversations from their Telegram chat. Step 2, she uses AI tools to analyze all that text. Step 3, she uses a tool called Notebook LM to generate a video summary. And finally, step 4, she publishes that video to YouTube. It's a full-on content creation workflow from start to finish. So here's the really crucial point. This isn't just some abstract theoretical exercise. No way. It's a hands-on, teachable workflow. The entire community, the deep conversations, all those different roles, it's all designed for one thing, to support and train one person, Yim, on this exact process. Now, a system this unique, well, it's going to generate some equally unique ideas, but as you can imagine, it also comes with its own set of anxieties and challenges. For example, out of these conversations came concepts like invisible resilience. And this isn't about motivational posters or just, being strong. It's a model of endurance that's structural. It's a capacity that was just lived through, carried internally, without ever being compared or made visible. It's a kind of quiet, profound strength. And get this, here's another powerful idea that came out of this: faith as functional infrastructure. This basically frames faith not as a set of beliefs, but as a practical mechanism that actually generates purpose. Think about it: a reason to get up in the morning, permission to heal, a truly functional tool for living. But an experiment like this isn't without its risks. There are some major ethical concerns here. For one, there's a risk of dependency on that single trainer. Then there's ambiguity over who owns the content. There's even a danger of data contamination if financial details get mixed in. And there's a really fine line between these deep conversations and actual therapy, which could lead to what's been called therapeutic colonization if they're not super careful. That's basically imposing outside therapeutic ideas on what should be an organic group dynamic. And all this leads to some very practical, still unresolved issues, like who actually owns the YouTube videos that this pipeline creates? How much meaning gets lost or shifted in the Thai to English translation? And a big one,
What happens to Yim's training if Sakhan, the only technical expert, suddenly isn't available? These are real open questions they're dealing with.
So, when you put all these pieces together, the people, the pipeline, the incredible ideas, and of course the risks, what does this model really represent? Could it actually be a new blueprint for learning? Let's look at the timeline for a sec. For weeks, the group is having these deep conversations. Then on February 17th, that question about kindness gets posted, but it's left unanswered. The very next day, there's a training session scheduled for Yim to learn the pipeline. And that's where the story just stops. Did the training even happen? Did it work? Can Yim run this whole process by herself now? We just don't know. It's a total cliffhanger. But the group's guiding philosophy kind of gives us a clue about their mindset. It's this: you don't have to be the best or the fastest, just not stopping. And that just perfectly captures the spirit of this whole project, doesn't it? It's all about persistent, steady progress, especially for an adult learner like Yim who's jumping into a really complex new field. And really, that's the core of this entire model. It all comes down to the number 1, a single, focused learner right at the center of this entire intricate architecture. Everything is built to serve her development. Which of course brings us to the final big question. Is this just a one-off curiosity, a cool little experiment? Or is this a replicable blueprint for the future of specialized high-touch learning? Could you actually create more Yim AI groups for all kinds of other skills? You know, in an age that's completely obsessed with massive scale and impersonal online courses, the Yim AI Group offers a pretty radical alternative. A small group, a specific task, and deep, meaningful human conversation as the engine for learning. And maybe, just maybe, that's a model we should all be paying very close attention to.